Elena Dravek stared at the message on her screen, reading it for the 5th time. Her hands trembled slightly as she brushed back a strand of dark hair from her face. "They actually invited us," she whispered to the empty room. The Galactic Council, the ruling body of the known universe, had finally sent Earth an invitation after decades of keeping humans at arm's length. As Earth's top diplomat, Elena knew what this meant. A chance, perhaps their only chance, to join the galactic community as full members. General Marcus entered her office without knocking. His weathered face showed concern. Elena stepped off the shuttle onto Nexus Station and tried not to gasp. The station was massive, a spinning ring 50 kilometers across, built around a pulsing energy core. Aliens of every shape and size moved through the grand arrival hall. Some floated, some crawled, others walked on legs numbering from 2 to 8. "Welcome to Nexus, Ambassador Dravek," said a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin. "I am Triz, your assigned guide." Elena smiled, remembering her training. The Meridians appreciated direct eye contact. "Thank you, Triz. I'm honored to be here. The Council has arranged quarters for you and your staff. Your presentation is scheduled for 3 station cycles from now." As they walked through the station, Elena noticed how other aliens watched her. Some with curiosity, others with clear dislike. The small metal case stayed close to her side. In her private quarters, luxurious but surely monitored, Elena unpacked while her security team swept for listening devices. Captain Rodriguez, her head of security, gave the sign that they could speak freely. "The Vrex representatives didn't greet us," Rodriguez said. "That's not a good sign." Elena nodded. The Vrex controlled nearly a third of council votes through alliances and threats. "We knew they wouldn't welcome us with open arms." "Arms isn't the word I'd use for those tentacle things," Rodriguez muttered. A soft chime indicated someone at the door. Elena nodded, and Rodriguez checked the monitor before opening it. A small Meridian entered, different from their guide. This one's skin was deeper blue with markings of high rank. "Ambassador Dravek," the Meridian spoke softly. "I am Kelios, Deputy Minister of Technological Exchange. We must speak quickly." Elena gestured to a chair. "Please sit." "I cannot stay long. The Vrex watch us." Kelios glanced nervously at the door. "You are in danger. The Vrex and their allies do not want humans in the Council. They fear you." "Fear us? Why?" Elena asked. "We're new to space travel. Our technology is far behind most Council races." Kelios made a sound like soft bells, a Meridian laugh. "That is precisely why. Most species take thousands of years to develop, as you have in mere centuries. The Vrex believe if humans gain access to advanced Council technology, you will become too powerful too quickly." Elena frowned. "The purpose of the Council is cooperation, isn't it? In theory. In practice." Kelios trailed off. "There is more. We have detected unauthorized Vrex operations in your solar system, mining outposts in your outer asteroid belt, research stations studying your species without consent." Elena felt cold anger rise inside her. This violated multiple agreements. "Do you have proof?" Kelios passed her a small crystal. "This contains coordinates and surveillance data. My people wish for alliance with humans. We are technologically advanced but physically vulnerable. You are adaptable and resilient." After Kelios left, Elena spent hours studying station maps and Council protocols. She sent her staff to gather information, making connections with station workers and representatives from smaller species. By listening to those the powerful ignored, Elena learned much. The Vrex had blocked 3 other species from membership in the past decade. Station maintenance workers whispered about secret meetings before her arrival. In her room that night, Elena opened the metal case and activated the device inside. The blue light pulsed as she spoke quietly. "General Marcus, this is worse than we thought. The Vrex have already decided against us and they've been operating illegally in our system." She uploaded the data from Kelios. "I'm proceeding with the presentation, but be ready. I don't think they plan to let me return home. Across light years on Earth, the message arrived instantly through quantum entanglement, technology the Council believed humans didn't possess. The Doomsday Protocol was quietly moved to standby status. Tell me you're not considering this, he said, dropping a folder on her desk. Intelligence says it's a trap. Elena picked up the folder and flipped through the reports. Intelligence always says it's a trap, Marcus. That's their job. This time they have proof. 3 smaller species got similar invitations last year. None returned. Elena stood and walked to the window. Outside, New Geneva sparkled in the morning light. 50 years since first contact and Earth had transformed. Skyscrapers with alien-inspired architecture reached toward the stars. Ships that could jump across light years dotted the sky. We can't say no, she said finally. We need their technology, their protection. Marcus stepped beside her. The protection they've denied us for decades while other species raid our outer colonies, which is why we need a seat at the table. Elena turned to face him. I'm going. Then take insurance. Marcus handed her a small metal case. Elena raised an eyebrow. What is it? Something they don't know we have. Keep it with you at all times. 3 days later, Elena boarded Earth's finest diplomatic vessel, the Olive Branch. A crew of 20 accompanied her, all highly trained, all aware of the risks. As the ship prepared for departure, United Earth President Saito addressed her via secure channel. Ambassador Dravek, you carry the hopes of 8 billion people, Saito said. The Council has kept us waiting, kept us guessing. Now they've opened a door, and we must step through it. Elena nodded. I understand the stakes, Madam President. If things go wrong, Saito hesitated. We have protocols in place. Let's hope we don't need them, Elena replied. As the Olive Branch lifted off, Elena looked down at Earth, blue and green and perfect. She had studied the Council races for years, the Vrex, with their 6-limbed bodies and complex hierarchy. The Meridians, brilliant but physically weak, the massive Taurons, the insect-like Zith, and dozens more. Each older than humanity, each with their own agenda. In her quarters, Elena opened the case Marcus had given her. Inside was a device the size of her palm, pulsing with soft blue light. She didn't know exactly what it did, but she understood. Its purpose, insurance. The Olive Branch reached the jump point and vanished into the void. Destination, Nexus Station, the massive Council headquarters orbiting a distant neutron star. Unknown to Elena, at that very moment, 7 Council species were voting on Earth's fate. The Vrex ambassador spoke with cold certainty. The humans are unpredictable, dangerous. They achieved space travel too quickly, asked too many questions. Its translator conveyed perfect, emotionless speech. They cannot be allowed full membership. The vote was already decided before Elena's ship made its first jump. The Council chamber took Elena's breath away. A vast circular room with tiers of seats rising around a central platform. 247 species represented, each with their own section. The ceiling showed a perfect view of the neutron star the station orbited, its dangerous beauty filtered through protective screens. Elena stood on the central platform, alone. Her staff watched from a separate viewing area. Council rules. Only the primary representative could speak. Ambassador Elena Dravek of Earth, announced the Council speaker, a tall being with crystalline features. You may present your petition for full Council membership. Elena took a deep breath. Years of preparation had led to this moment. The broadcast played on every screen across Earth. Elena Dravek, forced to her knees before the Galactic Council. The Vrex representative pronouncing her guilt. The energy weapon raised. The flash of light. Then nothing but static. In Times Square, New York, thousands stood in stunned silence. In Beijing, crowds gathered in shock. In Lagos, people wept openly. Across the planet, humanity watched one of their own executed without trial or mercy. In Geneva, at the United Earth Government headquarters, President Saito gripped the edge of the conference table. Around her sat the leaders of Earth's 7 major powers. They murdered her, General Marcus whispered. His face was ashen. They actually did it. President Saito looked at the blank screen. Elena activated the protocol before they killed her. She confirmed our suspicions. The Russian premier nodded. The Vreks never intended to accept our membership. This was a show of power, to put us in our place. Then we will show them our power, said the Chinese president, her voice cold. The protocol has been prepared for decades, now we use it. For the first time in human history, the 7 leaders unanimously agreed. President Saito pressed a button, and a secure terminal rose from the center of the table. Computer. Authorize. Doomsday Protocol. Voice recognition, Saito Amara, President of United Earth. One by one, the other leaders added their authorization. When the last code was entered, the screen flashed green. Doomsday Protocol initiated, the computer announced. Phase 1 commencing. Around the world, military bases went to highest. Alert. Spaceports locked down. Communications switched to encoded channels that not even the Council knew humans possessed. In orbit, Earth's small fleet of defensive ships changed formation. They weren't moving to attack positions. They were creating a shield, deep beneath Geneva, in a vault built when humans first learned they weren't alone in the universe. 7 leaders placed their palms on a circular device. Authorize Operation Lazarus, President Saito commanded. The device hummed to life, glowing, with blue energy, the same energy that had powered Elena's small device. Across the galaxy, something impossible happened. Every human ship in space simultaneously altered course. Civilian vessels disappeared from tracking systems. Military ships went dark. On Nexus Station, a Meridian observer noticed the pattern first. The humans are mobilizing, it reported to its superior. All ships, all stations. The Vreks commander dismissed the report. Their primitive vessels are no threat. Let them posture. But in deep space, at coordinates known only to Earth's highest command, dormant stations were powering up. Facilities, hidden in asteroid belts disguised as research outposts or buried on moons too harsh for most species to consider, all awakening at once. In her quarters on Nexus Station, Elena Dravik's small device continued to pulse with blue light even hours after her death. When a Vrek security team finally opened her room to search it, the device sent one final transmission before self-destructing. On Earth, General Marcus received the data package. Everything Elena had learned about Council defenses, Vrek ship movements, and station security protocols. She got it all, he said quietly to President Saito. Elena completed her true mission. President Saito addressed the emergency session of Earth's united government. The Council believes they executed our ambassador to teach us humility. Instead, they've only confirmed what we've suspected since first contact. We are alone in our commitment to true equality among species. She paused, looking at each leader in turn. The Doomsday Protocol is not about destruction. It's about revealing what humanity has become while they weren't watching. Honored representatives of the Galactic Council, she began. Humanity thanks you for this opportunity. For 50 years we have learned from your example, traded with your worlds, and adhered to Council regulations as a probationary member. She activated her presentation, showing Earth's rapid progress in clean energy, medical advances, and peaceful cooperation between nations. Some say humans advance too quickly, Elena continued, that we are unpredictable, dangerous. She looked directly at the Vreks section. I say these qualities make us valuable allies. When faced with problems, humans find solutions others might miss. Where others see impossibility, we see challenge. Murmurs spread through the chamber, some approving, others doubtful. Ambassador Dravek, the Vreks representative interrupted, its voice translated to a cold, metallic tone. Your species had nuclear weapons before you had space travel. You fought endless wars among yourselves. How can such a violent species be trusted? Elena smiled. She had expected this question. We fought ourselves to a standstill before turning. To the stars, she replied. Imagine how fiercely we would fight for allies. Every species here has a violent past. The difference is that humans acknowledge ours and learn from it. The chamber grew quiet. Elena felt she was making progress. Then the Vurex representative rose again. The council has received disturbing evidence. A new image appeared, replacing Elena's presentation. Human research facilities developing biological weapons capable of targeting specific alien physiologies. Elena froze. The images showed Earth laboratories, but the context was all wrong. Those are defensive measures, she protested. Vaccines and treatments to protect humans from potential alien pathogens. After 3 human colonies suffered disease outbreaks, silence, the Vurex representative commanded. The evidence is clear. Earth prepares for biological warfare against Council species. Chaos erupted in the chamber. Elena tried to speak, but her microphone was cut off. The Council speaker called for order. A vote has been called, the speaker announced. The question, is Earth's petition for membership rejected, and are sanctions to be imposed for treaty violations? Elena watched in horror as the voting proceeded. The Vurex and their allies voted as a bloc. Smaller species looked away, afraid to oppose them. Even the Meridians could only abstain, not vote against the majority. The speaker's voice was solemn. The Council rejects Earth's petition and finds Ambassador Dravek guilty of presenting false information and concealing weapons programs. 2 security officers approached the platform. As a warning to Earth and all who would threaten Galactic peace, the speaker continued. This council sentences Ambassador Elena Dravek to immediate execution. Gasps filled the chamber. Even by the council's harsh standards, this was extreme. As the guards seized her arms, Elena managed to press the hidden button on her bracelet, activating the device in her quarters. Her final message to Earth was simple. Protocol confirmed. They've sentenced me to death. Everything we suspected was true. Initiate doomsday. Across the galaxy, cameras broadcast what happened next to every world, including Earth. Admiral Jung stood on the bridge of the EDS Retribution, Earth's most advanced warship. Though advanced was relative in galactic terms, the Council believed humans had only 20 military vessels. They were wrong. All ships report ready. Admiral, his executive officer announced. Operation Lazarus is fully activated. Zhang nodded. Open the channel to all human outposts. A holographic map appeared, showing not just the solar system, but dozens of points of light spread across Council space. Each light represented a human presence, some known to the Council, others completely hidden. Captain Maya Okonkwo led her team through the dark halls of asteroid mining station K-12. According to Elena's intelligence, this facility, officially registered as a simple Vurex mining operation, was actually harvesting rare elements from Earth's solar system without permission. Maya's team moved silently, wearing advanced combat suits that the Council didn't know humans had developed. Not bulky power armor like the Vurex used, but lightweight suits that enhanced strength while allowing full human flexibility. 6 targets, ahead, whispered Lieutenant Chen, checking his scanner. 4 Vurex, 2 maintenance drones. Maya nodded and signaled the team to deploy stun devices, small discs that slid across the floor and released a neural disruptor tuned specifically to Vurex biology. After years of being studied by the Council, humans had learned quite a bit about alien physiology. The Council races never considered that humans might be studying them back. The discs activated. The Vurex guards collapsed without firing a shot. Secure the command center, Maya ordered. Remember, no casualties unless absolutely necessary. Across the solar system and in neighboring sectors, similar operations unfolded simultaneously. Human special forces retook illegal mining stations, research outposts and monitoring facilities that various Council races had established without Earth's knowledge or consent. On Nexus Station, the Council was in chaos as reports flooded in. Humans have captured 17 facilities in the past hour, reported a Zith analyst, its insectoid mandibles clicking nervously. All were operations the Council never officially approved. The Vurex commander slammed its limb onto the table. How are they coordinating these attacks? Their technology shouldn't allow such precise timing across these distances. In the back of the chamber, the Meridian representative Kelios watched with private satisfaction. The Meridians had suspected for years that humans possessed more advanced technology than they revealed. This confirmation meant their decision to secretly support Earth had been correct. Kelios stepped forward. Perhaps we should consider negotiating with the humans. These strikes have been remarkably precise. No civilian targets, no unnecessary casualties. They are showing restraint. Restraint? The Vrex commander's translator couldn't fully convey its outrage. They are attacking Council facilities. Illegal facilities, Kelios corrected. Facilities operating in human space without permission. Facilities the Council officially denied knowing about. Other representatives began to murmur in agreement. The Vrex had pushed too far, and now everyone was facing the consequences. Aboard the EDS Retribution, Admiral Zhang received updates from the strike teams. All primary targets secured, Admiral, reported his communications officer. Minimal resistance, no human casualties. Zhang nodded. And the alien personnel? All detained safely. Emergency evacuation ships are standing by to return them to Council space once we've secured all evidence of illegal operations. This was crucial to the plan. Humans weren't just showing their military capabilities. They were demonstrating their ethics. Every action was being recorded and prepared for broadcast across Council communication channels. In her office on Earth, President Saito received the first images from the operations. She smiled slightly as she addressed her cabinet. The Council believed we would respond with blind rage after Elena's execution. They expected primitive fury, easily contained. She displayed the images of human forces professionally securing the illegal facilities. Instead, they're facing something far more dangerous, human precision and restraint. The defense minister nodded. The Meridians have officially broken from the Council position. They're calling for negotiations. Good, Saito replied. But we continue with the plan. The Vrex won't accept this situation so easily. As if confirming her words, alarms sounded throughout the command center. A massive Vrex battle fleet had just jumped into the outer solar system, heading toward Earth's moon. This is Admiral Zhang to all Lazarus cells. The protocol is active. I repeat, Doomsday Protocol is active. Execute your assigned operations. Across Council space, seemingly innocent human outposts transformed overnight. A scientific research station on a frozen moon became a military coordination center. A small trading post near Meridian space revealed hidden weapons and shields. Human settlements in remote areas, places other species found too harsh or unprofitable, suddenly bristled with technology the Council didn't know humans possessed. On a mining outpost near the Vrex border, Dr. Sarah Chen typed a code into her computer. The entire facility, disguised as a simple extraction operation, sank deeper into the asteroid and activated advanced stealth systems. This is Chen at Outpost Sigma, she reported. We are dark and in position to monitor Vrex fleet movements. Similar reports came in from across the galaxy. For decades, humans had been quietly establishing footholds everywhere they could, preparing for the possibility that the Council might turn hostile. Back on Earth, General Marcus addressed the United Earth Defense Council. The Doomsday Protocol has 3 phases, he explained. Phase 1, activation of all sleeper cells and hidden outposts. Phase 2, strategic demonstration of force. Phase 3, remains classified. A council member raised her hand. The Council will retaliate. They have technology far beyond ours, Marcus nodded. That's what they believe. What you're about to see is why we called it the Doomsday Protocol. Not because it brings doomsday to the galaxy, but because it marks the end of an era. The era where humans pretended to be less than we are. He activated a screen showing Elena's device, the one she had called Insurance. Ambassador Dravek carried a quantum-entangled communications device. Everything she saw, everything she learned about Nexus Station and Council defenses, was transmitted back to us in real time. We have their vulnerabilities. On Nexus Station, Alarms blared as Council security detected unusual activity throughout Council space. The VREX High Commander stormed into the emergency session. "The humans are more organized than we anticipated," it admitted reluctantly. "They had hidden outposts we didn't know about." The Council speaker looked troubled. "You assured us they were primitive, that executing their ambassador would force them to submit." "They should have cowered," the VREX commander hissed. "No species has ever dared to challenge a council ruling this way." In the Meridian section, Kelios watched silently. The humans were doing exactly what his species had hoped, challenging VREX dominance. Back on the Retribution, Admiral Zhang received a secure transmission from Earth. President Saito's face appeared on his private screen. "Admiral, you may proceed." "With Phase 2, she said calmly. "Remember our principles. We are not declaring war. We are demonstrating consequences." Zhang nodded. "Understood, Madam President." He turned to his crew. "All ships prepare for synchronized jumps. Target only the illegal operations within our system and neighboring sectors. No civilian targets. Show them humanity's precision, not just our power." Across human space, ships vanished into jump points, heading toward their targets with a message for the Galactic Council. Humanity would not be dismissed so easily. The VREX fleet appeared without warning. 30 massive warships, each 10 times larger than Earth's biggest vessel, jumped into orbit around the moon. Their weapons targeted the lunar colonies, civilian settlements where nearly 1 million humans lived. "This is Commander Zexfrol of the VREX hierarchy," boomed a message across all Earth channels. "Your attacks on Council facilities will cease immediately. Surrender your hidden outposts and technology, or we will demonstrate the consequence of defying the Council." On Earth, military command centers went to highest alert. The defense fleet moved to protect the planet, but they couldn't reach the moon in time. Colonel Marcus Dravik had not slept in 3 days. Since watching his wife Elena's execution, even knowing it was her duplicate, he had focused on only one mission, leading the strike team against Nexus Station. Now, as his small stealth ship approached the massive station, he checked his team one last time. "Remember," he told the 12 soldiers, "we're not here for revenge. We're here to complete the mission." Their target was buried in the heart of Nexus, a VREX superweapon that Elena's duplicate had discovered in her final hours. A device capable of creating a quantum collapse that could destroy Earth's entire solar system. As the Council dissolved into chaos following Elena's revelation, the VREX High Command had issued a desperate order: activate the weapon. Inside Nexus Station, species that had been dominated by the VREX for centuries were now in open rebellion. Meridians led the uprising, using their technical skills to disable security systems. This gave Marcus's team the opening they needed. "Breach point clear," reported Lieutenant Quan over the team's secure channel. "Station defenses are focused on the Council riots." Marcus's ship docked at an emergency airlock. The team moved through the station's maintenance tunnels, using maps Elena had secretly transmitted. They encountered scattered resistance, mostly VREX security forces, but advanced human combat suits gave them an edge in the confined spaces. In the Council chamber, the rebellion had turned violent. VREX guards fired on protesting representatives. The Meridian ambassador, Kelios, found himself trapped behind a fallen pillar with 3 other species. "The VREX are losing control," said the Zith representative, its insect-like body quivering. "But they will destroy us all before surrendering power." "Help is coming," Kelios assured them, checking a small device that monitored human communications. "The humans have a plan." Deep in the station core, Marcus's team reached the weapon control room. 3 VREX technicians were frantically activating the device, a massive sphere pulsing with dark energy. "Stop them," Marcus ordered. His team fired precision stun weapons. The VREX fell, but the activation sequence continued automatically. A countdown appeared on the main screen, 5 minutes until firing. "Can we disable it?" Marcus asked his technical specialist. She studied the controls. "Not safely. The fail-safes would trigger immediately," Marcus thought quickly. This was the moment all their planning had prepared for. "We don't disable it. We redirect it." Using the data Elena had collected, They worked frantically to reprogram the weapon's targeting system. The countdown continued. 3 minutes, 2 minutes. On Earth, President Saito received a coded message from Marcus's team. Nexus weapon being redirected. Prepare for demonstration. Across council space, billions of beings watched as Elena Dravek addressed them again. The Vrex have activated a superweapon on Nexus Station, she announced. A device capable of destroying entire star systems. A final act of desperation. In homes and gathering places throughout the galaxy, panic spread, but Elena remained calm. Watch now as humanity shows you the difference between power and wisdom, she said. The countdown reached 0. The weapon fired, a beam of concentrated quantum energy, but instead of striking Earth's sun, it hit the planetary shields around the Vrex homeworld. The shields collapsed, leaving the planet intact but completely vulnerable. In the weapon control room, Marcus sent a simple message to all Vrex military commanders. Your homeworld is defenseless, your council position is lost, stand down or the next demonstration won't be so gentle. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Vrex fleet went silent, then began powering down weapon systems. The galactic balance of power had shifted in a single day. They're targeting civilians, General Marcus said in disbelief as he watched from Earth Command. They wouldn't dare. But the Vrex did dare. Energy weapons flared across the lunar surface. Domes cracked. Atmosphere vented into space. The northern colony of Armstrong City, home to 300,000 people, was hit worst. Emergency shelters activated, but thousands died in seconds. Across Earth, people watched in horror as the attack was broadcast live. After Elena's execution, this second atrocity pushed humanity beyond anger to a cold, unified fury. In the Geneva Command Center, President Saito's face showed no emotion as she watched the reports coming in. She turned to the Defense Council. Initiate Phase 3, she said quietly. General Marcus entered the final authorization code. Operation Lazarus activated. On Nexus Station, the Council was in emergency session after the Vrex attack. Many representatives were openly condemning the strike on civilian targets. The Vrex have violated our most basic laws, the Meridian ambassador declared. Attacking civilian settlements is forbidden under Council Charter. The Vrex representative stood defiant. We are bringing a dangerous species to heel, sometimes harsh measures. The alien was interrupted as every screen in the council chamber suddenly activated. On each display appeared a face that shocked everyone into silence. Ambassador Elena Dravek, alive and unharmed. Members of the Galactic Council, she said calmly. I address you after my supposed execution. What you witnessed was not my death, but the final test of human technology the Council has long feared we might develop. In the council chamber, chaos erupted. The Vrex representative demanded the transmission be cut off, but council technicians couldn't stop it. Elena continued. The woman you executed was a synthetic duplicate, containing my memories and personality, indistinguishable from the original. My consciousness was backed up before I left Earth. She paused, letting the implications sink in. The ability to duplicate consciousness was technology beyond even the oldest council races. The Vrex have just attacked our lunar colonies, killing thousands of civilians. Elena continued. Yet even now humanity does not seek total war. We seek justice. The transmission split to show evidence of Vrex crimes, illegal harvesting of resources from dozens of systems, secret biological weapons programs, manipulation of council votes through blackmail and threats. This evidence has been transmitted to every council world, Elena said. The Vrex hierarchy has controlled the council through fear for centuries. Today that ends. On the Virex homeworld, citizens watched in shock as their leader's secrets were exposed. Back on Earth in a secured facility deep beneath Geneva, Elena's physical body sat in a medical chamber, her consciousness only now being restored from backup. She opened her eyes as General Marcus entered the room. Did it work? She asked weakly. Marcus nodded. Perfectly. The council is in uproar. 7 species have already called for the Vrex to stand trial. Elena smiled faintly. And the lunar colonies? Heavy casualties, Marcus admitted grimly. But the Vrex made a fatal mistake attacking civilians. They've lost all support in the Council. And Phase 3? Proceeding now. 3 months after the day humans called the execution, representatives from all Council species gathered on Earth's orbital diplomatic station Unity. The massive space platform, hidden in Earth's shadow until recently, showed that humans had been building advanced structures long before the Council suspected. Elena Dravek, now in a new synthetic body that housed her restored consciousness, stood at the center of the main chamber. Beside her was her husband Marcus, still recovering from wounds sustained during the Nexus Station mission. "Welcome to Unity Station," Elena addressed the gathered delegates. 3 months ago I stood before you as a criminal. Today, we meet as equals. The chamber was silent. The Vrex delegation sat diminished, still present, but stripped of their former power. The Meridians had taken the lead in Council reorganization, with support from Earth and a coalition of formerly oppressed species. Kelios, now the Meridian High Ambassador, stepped forward. "The old Council is dissolved. Today we form a new alliance, one based on true cooperation rather than dominance." Elena nodded and activated a holographic display showing the new charter. "The mutual disclosure doctrine is the foundation of our new agreement. All member species must share basic defensive technologies and respect sovereignty. No species may interfere with another's development, and no representative may be harmed for speaking truth." The delegates reviewed the terms. Fair, but firm. Many still struggled to understand how humans had hidden so much from the Council for so long. "You planned this for decades," said the Zith representative, mandibles clicking thoughtfully. "Since first contact." Elena smiled. "We hoped for the best but prepared for the worst, the most human approach of all. Our history taught us to be cautious." The new charter was signed by all species including the Vrex, who had little choice after their homeworld remained vulnerable. Later, in a private meeting room, Kelios spoke with Elena and Earth's leadership. "Your consciousness transfer technology changes everything," the Meridian said. "No species has achieved this before." President Saito nodded. "It began as a contingency, a way to preserve our best minds if the worst happened. Now we see it has greater potential." "Virtual immortality," Kelios whispered. "Will you share this with the Alliance?" "Carefully," Elena said. "Some technologies must be introduced slowly. But yes, this is part of our shared future." In research centers across Earth, the technology that had saved Elena was being refined. Death itself might soon become optional, a development that both fascinated and frightened their galactic neighbors. That evening, Elena stood with Marcus at the observation deck, watching Earth spin below them. "Was it worth it?" he asked quietly. "All the secrecy, the planning, the risk?" Elena took his hand. The synthetic body felt nearly identical to her original one, though she was still adjusting to the subtle differences. "We earned our place in the stars," she said, "not through conquest but by showing both strength and wisdom when tested." Marcus looked at the stars beyond. "And what happens next, now that the galaxy knows what humans are truly capable of?" Elena smiled. "Now comes the hard part, building something better than what came before. The Doomsday Protocol wasn't really about ending something, it was about making a new beginning possible." In the distance, ships from a dozen worlds moved peacefully around Unity Station. The old order had fallen. The new one was just taking shape, and humanity, once dismissed as primitive upstarts, now stood at its center, not as conquerors, but as architects of a more equal galaxy. The end.